Because before you can call me crazy, these wheels will be seen all over America. All over America. They're coming down over the major cities. So you won't be able to say it's swamp gas or little lights and people were drunk. They'll be down over Chicago. They'll be down over New York. You will look up one day and see them, and I don't want you to be terrified. They're your friends, black man.
Assalamu alaikum, family. This is Brother Trevor, and welcome back to the Wheel Watchers podcast. This is a very serious episode. This is no joke. This is no games. And I pray that Allah blesses me to get through this. So this is episode 5, and this is the season finale. Who is Semi Attakhan, our brother from Turkey and dear angel? Who is he? Well, let's get into it. As you see, we have a picture of him here, and who is he standing next to? Of course, then besides the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, I want to start with some words from Brother Tanetta Muhammad. This is from our article, The Mystical Link Between the Whirling Dervishes and the Mongolian People of Central Asia. During his first journey outside of the United States, among the many countries he visited with 2 of his sons, she's talking about those Honorable Elijah Muhammad, by the way, Turkey stood out for him as a most important center of his travels. He expounded much about the love of the people for us in America. I was blessed to receive one postcard from him during that journey in 1959 and 1960, which was postmarked Turkey and had a picture of the famous St. Sophia Mosque in Istanbul, Turkey. Nearly 16 years later, in 1975, the year of his departure, I was accompanied by my eldest son, Ishmael, and daughter Medina to visit this country among several others, in which we visited this same famous mosque, St. Sophia, and I have a picture of it right here. It was from this country that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad described the appearance of one of the scientists, angels, who had a twin brother who visited his home, National Palace, in the year 1974, just prior to his departure. He is the one who sat at his dinner table next to him at his left side, who described to us as having power over the fire and the atmosphere. I interpreted this as one who came to inform the Honorable Elijah Muhammad of the time that was approaching in preparation for his departure. The rest is now a part of history. Now, many of us may say, what are angels? What are these angels? So on and so forth. What is an angel? Well, I have actually a pretty good answer from her son, Student Minister Rasul Muhammad, may Allah be pleased. This is from his article titled, What Are Angels and Who Are Angels? This is just a small portion of it. Let me go into it. Brother Rasul says, angels have a divine function and purpose, which is to execute strategic objectives of God through the mastery of certain forces. Man is created to be God in the flesh, and everything in creation subservient to his will. Can you see how the greatest offense to the one God and creator of everything would be to worship and bow to anything that is made? When you make something, you start from something. It's only when you create something that you start from nothing. This is the work and signature of Allah God, who creates. Now, as we know, Brother Semi Atakan, I pray I'm pronouncing it correctly, yes, is from Turkey, and this brother has a very serious look on his face. As you can see, he is no joke. He didn't come to play, and he was one who assisted in the departure of the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. As a matter of fact, I looked up what the last name Atakan means, and the prefix Ata means ancestor, and Khan meaning blood. So when you put that together, it means blood ancestor. All praise is due to Allah. Now, right here, I would like to go into a very short article that was written by our brother Jabril Muhammad in the final call from November 30th, 2010, where he briefly speaks to Brother Joshua Farrakhan about Semi Attakhan and various other subjects. But let me go into it. In an interview with Joshua Farrakhan in 1994, this is Brother Jabril talking. I asked him if he remembered a light-skinned man, Semi Attakhan of Turkey, whom the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad referred to as an angel. He replied, yes. I then said, they say he was a man who never smiled. He never smiled. At the end of 1971, several people reportedly saw him. This I was told by more than one source. I was not present. at the table of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad at that time. However, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad spoke highly of him. He referred to him as an angel who had power over a fourth of the planet. I was told that he demonstrated something extraordinary. His arm hair appeared magnetized, pointed direct towards the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He had been in and out of town for 2 years, but it wasn't until the meeting in 1971 that these things were revealed to him. Now that was from Minister Jibril Muhammad. And also I have another source from another article, or as a matter of fact, this is the same article, where he continues by saying, I heard from Minister Ishmael and Sister Mother Tanetta that he, Semi Attakhan, was present at the bedside of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad at Mercy Hospital in Chicago, Illinois in 1975. On more than one occasion, they say he would stand at the foot of the bed with the same expressionless look, just deadpan. There is also a picture of him and others, at the gravesite throwing dirt, putting dirt on the ground and participating in the burial. I have a picture of that here. Now remember, these scientists on the wheel are able to communicate with us telepathically, so they don't have to speak with you verbally. They can speak to you through your mind, and that's exactly what Brother Semi Attakhan was doing with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And family, let's continue on. In 1974, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that there were some very fierce-looking men came to his home. He let them in. They never spoke. They had dinner with him. He said to them, there were some angels who visited Abraham, and they were very fierce-looking men. Abraham asked them, what is your business? I'm asking you now, what is your business? And this was the answer they gave. Our business is the same. From Mother Tanetta, Muhammad teaches sent angels to deliver his first discussion with me on such a plot to kill him. Actually began in 1974 and the later part of 1974, because that was the last trip that we all took together in December. This is Mother Tanetta speaking. Actually, it was Christmas Eve. I recall that we had to refuel in Houston or one part of Texas. I can't remember right now if it was Houston, but I believe it was. And from there, after the refueling, we landed in. How I got this information is kind of mystifying to me because nobody seems to know about it. But I know the Honorable Elijah Muhammad requested not to leave on the 26th, and this man had something to do with it. I don't know how I know this unless it was telepathically, but I know that he requested not to leave, and then sure enough, he did. He left on the 25th. So that was letting me know that this was a carefully designed departure, that only those whom God would reveal it to would know. Brother Jibril Muhammad says, did you see this man at any other time? Mother Tanetta responds by saying, yes, once after the hospital, after the announcement that he had passed, he came to the palace on either that day or the next day. I remember again, he sat down in the living room. He didn't talk to anybody. I don't know who he came to see or who he came to talk to, but I observed him again and I said, my goodness. So that would make 4 times that I can recall clearly that I saw him. Once at the dinner table, once at the hospital, and once at the palace, and after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was announced dead in the hospital. Brother Jibril says, but you also saw him during Savior's Day 1974. Mother Tanetta says yes. And that ends our portion and discussion of the articles. And who is Brother Semi Atakan? As we shared earlier, he is one of the angels who has power over a fourth of our planet, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told Mother Tanetta Muhammad. Now this is very careful. We are not to play around with these angels. We are to be on our P's and Q's at all times. So this is why our righteousness will sustain us in this very hour. And we thank you so much for listening, family. And as I conclude, I wanted to quote something from Hebrews 13:2 from the New Living Translation of the Bible. It reads, don't forget to show hospitality to strangers, for some who have done this have entertained angels without realizing it. So have we entertained strangers or angels without realizing it? I'm sure we have, and this is very important. So to always remember to treat others the same way that we are to be treated and the way you would like to be treated. So family and fellow wheel watchers, we thank you so much for listening. This was the season finale. Inshallah, we will be back soon. This took a very long time for me to put together because, man, I stumble over my words so much, but that's not important. But we thank you so much for listening. I am Brother Trevor, member of the Wheel Watchers Podcast. And please always remember, where there's a will, there's a way. Please be sure to like and subscribe. We love you and appreciate every single one. Assalamu alaikum.